do you remember when they pretended that this war on Iran was about freeing the Iranian people? It was about saving the Iranian people, liberating them so that they could prosper. Iranians are preparing for further economic pain because this is what the US does. It uses sanctions as a weapon of war.
100 years ago, Nikola Tesla discovered a healing technology that threatened the entire pharmaceutical industry. The day he died, the government seized everything. For 100 years, this technology was hidden. Until now, plasma is back. Tesla Club, tzla.club.
What to expect as Iran braces for new US economic measures amid war. Didn't think it was a war, thought it was a military operation. Tehran may count on links with China and others to weather the storm, but average Iranian people will bear the brunt. Of course, the pushing of Iran towards China is wholly predictable. It's always been the plan in terms of essentially moving the chess pieces to prepare for this third world war that they're so keen on. That's why Iran, Russia and China have been pushed together so much over the last 20 odd years. A lot of it through sanctions. But of course, it says the average Iranian people bear the brunt. Now, do you remember, if you're old enough to remember, I'm old enough to remember, when they pretended that this war on Iran was about freeing the Iranian people? Do you remember that? It was about saving the Iranian people, liberating them so that they could prosper and Iran will prosper and all the rest of it. Yeah, I remember that. I remember when people believed it as well. Wow. Iranians are preparing for further economic pain as the United States gets ready to announce a new round of punishing sanctions on Iran. Because this is what the US does. It uses sanctions as a weapon of war. It cripples countries, it destroys lives while pretending to be liberating them and spreading freedom and all the rest of it. A lot of the time on behalf of their owners, to be fair, including at the moment in Iran. And if you look now at Cuba, if you look at obviously what they've done in Venezuela in terms of toppling, all for the benefit of the Venezuelan people, of course, and they just nick the oil and run away with it. And now they're pushing even more sanctions on Iran. So it's kind of gone from being the land of the free to the land of the you're free to do exactly what our bosses in Tel Aviv want. And if you don't, we will destroy you and we will kidnap your leaders and steal your natural resources. And they've done it from the beginning, the United States. They've been at war with someone for overwhelmingly no real benefit for the United States, no real strategic point for the United States. For over 92% of its existence. Now, this isn't me digging in on the American people. I'm digging in on the American government, the American establishment, the Epstein class, in the same way that I do with my own government, my unelected government, let's have it right, over in Ukraine now, making decisions that affect everyone's lives that no one wants. I'm not tiring the British people with that. So before people come at me, God, he's an anti-American. No, I'm not anti-American people. Mate, I'm team humanity, and that includes Iranian people, American people. It includes British people, whatever. But the governments and the whole establishment and how it's set up, the institutions, I can't bear. And just think about it. Since 1776, the United States, as a corporation, has been at war with someone for over 92% of the time. No one wants that, surely. US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is expected to announce new economic measures against the country on Monday, designed to squash the Iranian economy and collapse the government. So they were freeing the Iranian people. That was how it started, remember? Okay, now we're going to free them from oppression and all the rest of it. The Iranian regime, who I've also got no skin in the game for, because I have no skin in the game for any regime, by the way. But the Iranian regime, they've slaughtered I don't know how many it was. The number kept changing, didn't it? 500 billion. They've slaughtered 500 billion of their own people. We need to go in there and liberate them. So the first thing they did was basically murder a load of them, including nearly 200 schoolgirls, intentionally, because they didn't just bomb that elementary school. They bombed it once and they waited for people to come and try and help, and then they bombed it again on behalf of their owners in Tel Aviv. They killed the Iranian leadership one by one, kill someone else comes in, kill him, like life is irrelevant. And now they're going to cripple the economy even more than they already have to destroy the lives of the people that they originally claimed to be there to say, okay, mate, it's hard to keep up. US President Donald Trump has also warned of the economic D-Day, with the US preparing the most potent financial measures against any country. Think how many countries they've destroyed through sanctions. But they're reserving the worst for Iran, of course. But analysts say the penalties are unlikely to change the behavior of Iran, already one of the most sanctioned countries in the world. Well, yeah, not everyone bows to bullion, it seems. Banks, oil buyers and refiners, shipping companies, registries, ports, airports, exchange houses, front companies, and potentially government facilitating Iranian trade could be exposed to secondary sanctions by Washington. So everyone then, basically. So it's not just, of course, an attack on the Iranian people. It's also an attack on the economies of other countries that work with Iran. And Scott Bessent, I always want to say David Bessent when I hear Bessent, but Scott Bessent said late last night that essentially he kind of echoed that whole George W. Bush, you're with us or you're with the terrorists thing, by saying that essentially you've got to choose now whether you're with the United States or you're with Iran. Essentially, there's no grey areas. There's no they're all in on stuff. It's you've got to pick one or the other. So my attitude is, okay, well, I'll tell you what, if you want me to choose America, soften me up a little bit by making some Epstein arrests. So some of those names that we saw, despite how heavily redacted it all was, some of those names, you go out and you go and arrest some of those people and you go and hold them to account, and then we'll chat. In a social media post on Monday, because that's how presidents talk now on social media, Trump claimed that Iran was completely collapsing. Well, Donald's never lied before, so if Donald says it, then it must be true. But you do have to ask the question, right? How does America get away with it? And I say that in full knowledge that it's not the US making the calls, not really. The US is essentially the big, aggressive attack dog that's under the thumb of a mouse, really. Because the US pretend to be the most powerful nation on earth. You hear it all the time. Land of the free, most powerful nation on earth. The president of the USA is the most powerful man on earth. But they're not even in control of their own domestic policy, let alone their own foreign policy. San Diego just passed a legislation to essentially make it illegal to call out Israel. Most US states now have made it illegal to boycott Israel, to the point where you're not given flood relief or hurricane relief or whatever if you're seen to boycott Israel. You've got a point where the governor of Florida and Randy Fine, who likes going through people's letters, and that other guy, forget his name, Caruso, who co-wrote the legislation, has just been arrested for child molestation. They flew over to Israel to sign into law the silencing, essentially, of criticism of Israel in America. So are you still pretending you're in charge? Because the thing is, the US, right, with this, is attempting to cripple Iran. Is it attempting to cripple Iran for itself? Not really. It's doing it on behalf of someone else. It's doing it on behalf of the Netanyahu regime, which for basically 40 years has been saying that Iran's 25 minutes from a nuclear weapon or whatever. So it's doing it on behalf of them. So it's attempting to cripple Iran on behalf of another nation while itself is being crippled. The US just hit $1 trillion in national debt. This is monopoly money. And this is mad to me because the US has got everything it needs. It's a massive nation which spans several different climates. It's got a bucket ton of natural resources. It's got all the entertainment industry, as dark as that is, a lot of it makes a lot of money. It's got all its pro sports where, you know, the basketball and the American football and the ice hockey and all the rest of it brings in huge revenue. It's watched all over the world. Massive creativity in terms of music and all the rest of it. And yet it's being bankrupted by foreign wars on behalf of a nation that will drop them in a heartbeat. Do you think once the US is cooked, you know, once it's really gone to the point of absolute, I mean, you're looking at San Diego in terms of passing legislations against so-called anti-Semitism, I'd be looking at sorting out the tent cities first. Should we sort out the homelessness? Should we sort out the drugs? Should we try and fix that? And then maybe we'll look at shutting people up if they call out Israel. Yeah? No. Prioritize. Prioritize the bosses, the end-of-level boss, the one that you should never criticize ever, despite all the horrendous things it's done historically over the last 80-odd years. But do you think once the US is hit that, because it's hit $1 trillion debt, but it's not like it's in that trajectory, it's still going down. And this military operation isn't going anywhere anytime soon. And you think also that Iran isn't going to retaliate in some way to those sanctions. Do you think once it's done, that their greatest ally will be there for them? No chance, mate. No chance, mate. They'll already be looking, almost certainly already be looking for another breast to suck dry. And when the Americans wake up to the realities of their greatest ally, things can change for the better. But the problem is, this is why the whole political system is a joke, any politician that at least on the face of it, because I don't trust any politicians to be fair, but any politician that on the face of it tries to kind of have some kind of America first attitude that isn't solely Israel first, really, funded by and whatever, people like Thomas Massie, these Israel firsters spend record amounts of money to unseat them and to get rid of them. So it's not going to be done through the political system. It has to be done through the people. The people have to wake up to the realities of it and stop parroting absolute nonsense. You hear it in this country all the time. You know, someone messaged me the other day saying that they were talking to a family member who was saying about the whole nonsense with Ukraine, that Ukraine is protecting the whole of Europe, and that if Ukraine falls, then the whole of Europe will be overrun by Russia. Russia will take over the whole of Europe. And you're like, okay, that's idiotic, but it's no more idiotic than the people that parrot the line that Israel is a bulwark. It's a wall in the Middle East that prevents the Islamification of Europe. It's just as nonsense. And what makes me laugh is the kind of people that say that line, without Israel, there'd be an Islamification of Europe, are the same people that say there's an Islamification of Europe. Not doing a great job then, are they?
In 1943, the government seized Nikola Tesla's most dangerous invention, a healing technology that threatened Big Pharma's entire empire. They buried it for 100 years, but it's back, and over 1,000 people worldwide are using it right now. When you join Tesla Club, you get your own Tesla plasma device, 5 times more powerful than the original violet ray and built to last. You join a private Telegram group where members share breakthroughs daily. Stroke recoveries, cancer reversals, chronic pain gone in minutes. These aren't stories. These are yesterday's posts. You get lifetime support from people who've been where you are. Technical guidance, therapeutic protocols, a group that actually understands. And you get access to hundreds of documented experiments, real members, real results, real transformations. No prescriptions, no waiting for permission, no begging doctors who don't believe you. Just you, your machine, and a movement taking health sovereignty back. We're Tesla Club, private science club for self-directed healing. Visit tzla.club. Join the revolution.
Plasma.
It's back!
Don't mention the reptiles, Dave.
Even less is said about the Grey Pope, who some believe to be the true ruling power in the Vatican.
Humans emitting a MAC address.
All of them had Bluetooth signals.
I've never seen it before.
Queuing up to transition their children.
This is the ultimate suicide cult.
What if the symbols around us every day aren't just ornamental?
We lost 1,000 years of history.
What if they're instruction?
That state of awareness is not manipulatable.